Hello there guys, welcome to my review of the 2019 CollectA Deluxe 1/6 scale Protoceratops. Sorry, that was a lot to get out. Before we start, just need to address the elephants in the room. First off is that, sorry about the lighting, just working with what we have today. And something I said in the unboxing. I accidentally referred to this as 1/20 scale when it's actually 1/6 scale. Right, on to the actual thing. I am actually pretty darn impressed with this. Like, compared to my other accessible Protoceratops, which is the GeoWorld one, this is pretty good. I do like the colours. It's simple with just like reddish brown with darker brown patterns over the top. It's got this nice swirl on the frill and covered in spots and sort of darker brown on the lower extremities of the limbs. I do like how the beak is not the same colour as the jugal horns or the hooves. I feel like that's been done a bit too much. This does have an articulated jaw, which I think we need more herbivores with articulated jaws, especially like from the perspective of someone who makes videos with stuff like this. Like, having carnivores with articulated jaws is great, but herbivores would also be good. Like, especially sauropods. But anyway, I might rant about that in another video someday. Good detail inside the mouth, but it doesn't have the air passages and there's no texture on the tongue, but I'm fine with that, I guess. This isn't really that obvious. It's a bit more obvious when you look at it from inside, especially with this light on. Although the cheek going all the way to here is now outdated, because it should probably be more like that, because with ceratopsians the cheek was made up of the jaw muscle. The proportions, of course, for Protoceratops are perfect, but for a ceratopsian in general are a bit weird. The tail does not have the sort of fluke shape, which makes me think I don't think this is Protoceratops andrewsi, because it doesn't have the raised neural spines and chevrons in the middle. I do like the quills. When we get to size comparisons, like, this could actually be one of the bigger species of Protoceratops, because, well, the animal itself could reach lengths of 1.8 to 2.5 meters, depending on the species. I don't know what species this is based on. Nice scale detail and detail on the keratinous horns and beak, which is pretty good. I don't think the nostrils are big enough. Like, that's a tiny nostril. It should probably be a bit bigger. They have included the ears behind the jugal horns and the cloaca. Nice detail on the underside of the feet, but of course this is a deluxe model. Something I like with the paint job, I'm not sure how they did this, but there's a dark wash underneath the main colour, because it's in between the scales. And the scales are a lighter brown. I'm not sure about these larger tubercles. I think that's based on Triceratops, but I don't think we have any evidence for them in more basal ceratopsians. This seam line is a little bit obvious, although they do cover it up quite nicely with this skin fold, but then that's a bit too obvious for me. Another thing is this square that's formed by the folds. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not. The underbelly does have CollectA's trademark rectangular scales. I'm not sure how accurate that is. I don't think they would have had those. I don't think we actually have skin impressions from Protoceratops. I'm not sure whether or not there should be more upper beak, because this whole... I know that there would have been quite a lot of the mouth exposed, but I think the upper beak should be a bit more extensive. I like how they've emphasized the weird nasal crest, I guess, with this line. Oh yeah, of course, another thing with the mouth is you can definitely see just from how overbuilt the head is that this thing has a powerful bite. We all know what happened to that poor Velociraptor. The bristles on the tail are pretty good. I like how they're not just one solid colour. It is kind of how it looked in the promo images, but there is a brown over the tan. Yeah, this is a really good colour scheme for something that's maybe going to want to be blending into the harsh desert environment of Bayern Zach. Okay, I'm rambling. Size comparisons. First off, I'll bring in a couple of figures that are actually going to be appearing with this thing in the project I bought it for, which is my next documentary. Got the Safari 27, Safari Raptor and the Papo Raptor. These are both 1/12 scale, but they actually scale pretty well, especially if this is a large individual. And I can actually... well, I was a bit skeptical about the size until I saw this photo on Instagram of these two figures together, and it's like, oh, wow. Also, I was quite surprised to find out that Velociraptor is substantially shorter than Protoceratops. And then we've got the CollectA Juvenile T-Rex, which will of course be playing Tarbosaurus. The Safari Great Dinos T-Rex, which will also be playing a Tarbosaurus, and is obviously nowhere near in scale. And we've got the Papo Trike, which I believe is 1/40 scale. Oh, it's getting crowded. It's the problem with big figure reviews. And of course, my constant is the Papo Dimetrodon, which I think is 1/20 scale or something? Well, obviously there's only like 3 figures here that are actually to scale with this thing. Yeah. I mean, obviously these two won't be appearing in the same shot, I don't think. Okay. What am I going to rate this thing? I'd say it's pretty darn good. I love the articulated jaw. Again, I wish they had more figures with articulated jaws. The obvious holes and seam lines and gaps and stuff is a bit of a bummer. I think they could have gotten away with making this 1/12 scale rather than 1/6 scale. It's also quite heavy. But other than that, I'm going to give this thing a solid 4.9. Because really the only problems with it are the structural ones, not anything to do with the accuracy. Right, I don't know when my next review is going to be. If there is going to be another one. There probably will be, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think you'll see this thing in Dino Quest at all. Yeah, might not be appearing until my next documentary. But until then, see you next time.